This is the story of the Exorcist. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this. Let's begin now. Father Marin is an old priest with a bum ticker who questions his faith in God. In his spare time, he is an archaeologist, someone who digs up old things. Father Marin discovers a statue of a demon called Pazuzu and knows he will battle evil soon. Chris McNeil is a has-been actress and mother who is disturbed by noises in the attic she thinks are rats, but aren't. Reagan is her 12-year-old daughter who plays with a spooky Ouija board and has a delightful playmate named Captain Howdy. Father Karras is an ex-boxer who thinks he has lost his faith in God. One day he pays a visit to his elderly mother, who lives in a slum and has only an old radio for companionship. Damien tells his mother that he wants to put her in a special home, but she cries out,
"This is my house, and I'm not going no place."
Chris wakes from a phone call from her set when she finds Reagan in the bed beside her. When Chris asks why she wasn't in her own bed, Reagan replies,
"My bed was shaking. I can't get to sleep."
Reagan was feeling under the weather and went to see the doctor, who gave her many tests. She even saw a scary ghost face. After her tests were finished, the doctor told her mother that she was depressed and gave her a special order for some new pills called Ritalin. Father Karras and his scruffy immigrant uncle make an emergency visit to a special women's home where his mother was taken. She is upset as he tries to talk to her, and she asks him over and over again,
"Timmy, why you did this to me? Timmy."
Chris is having a late-night sing-along with friends when Reagan wanders downstairs and stops before them. The singing stops as they all turn to her as she exclaims,
"You're gonna die up there."
Just then, a waterfall of pee-pee drops from Reagan's nightgown and forms a puddle on the carpet as the guests look on in horror. It seemed poor Reagan still wasn't feeling well, and if that ordeal weren't enough, she soon found her bed shaking wildly, up and down, side to side, as she cried out to Chris,
"Make it stop, Mother! Make it stop!"
Reagan's sickness increased, and her doctors returned to her home, horrified by what they find. Reagan was kneeling on her bed, screaming in a scary deep voice,
"Keep away, the sow is mine. Do me! Do me! Do me!"
Reagan demands, poking her tongue out at them while rubbing her privates. With no other answers, a man came to speak with Reagan, asking all sorts of questions. Reagan sat blankly in the chair as he asked her, "Reagan, is there someone inside you?" Reagan replied, "Sometimes." The doctor continued, "Are you the person inside of Reagan?" Before there was time for an answer, Reagan reached out her hand and grabbed hold of the doctor's private parts and squeezed with all her might, sending him to the floor in pain. Chris meets with Reagan's doctors, where she informs them that she is not putting Reagan away in a special home. One of the doctors asks her if she's ever heard of an exorcism, and explains it is a ceremony used to drive out nasty, evil demon people. Chris replies,
"You're telling me you want me to take my daughter to a witch doctor?"
A police inspector questions Father Karras on the mysterious death of Chris's film director, Burke Dennings, and tries to understand how he ended up going out Reagan's bedroom window, ending up at the bottom of the staircase with his head turned completely around backwards. The inspector then questions Chris at her house over 2 cups of delicious fresh coffee, then leaves. Just then a ruckus was heard coming from Reagan's room. Chris rushed up to see what was the matter. Reagan had taken a cross and put it between her legs, yelling,
Do me! Do me!
She throws her mother to the floor and turns her head completely around and says,
Do you know what your muffin daughter did?
Chris puts on a disguise, including an overcoat, scarf, and a dark pair of sunglasses, in order to meet with Father Karras. She asks for his help with her depressed daughter. Damien agrees to perform an exorcism to drive out the badness inside Reagan. Persuading Father Karras to come back to see Reagan's condition, he is scared by what he finds. Reagan is tied to the bed so she won't beat herself or others. He approaches her and asks,
Where's Reagan?
She smiles and replies,
In here with us.
Just then she blows green vomit, covering his face. She smiles as he wipes the sick away. Karras returns again later, when he is called in on an emergency and he is shown something amazing. They lift up Reagan's pajama top to reveal the words, "Help me," pushing outward from her tummy. Damien is dumbfounded when it occurs to him that the demon can spell. He rushes back to the church to get permission to perform an exorcism, and they offer the help of Father Merrin, who feels he might fight evil soon. Father Merrin gets a message from the church that he needs to do an exorcism in Washington, D.C., and he knows that at last, this is the evil he has to fight. He arrives at the house by cab and tips the driver $2, and enters just in time to hear Reagan shout his name from upstairs in an unsettling manner.
Merrin!
As Father Merrin and Father Karras begin the exorcism, Reagan shouted wildly,
Stick your wee-wee up her tushy, you mother-friggin' worthless wee-wee sucker!
Merrin splashes her with holy water, which is a special water blessed by a holy man, and tells her to be quiet. Both priests speak prayer together from the Bible, as Reagan chants over and over,
Your mother sucks wee-wees in hell!
Father Merrin makes the sign of the cross on the side of Reagan's head with his thumb as he says a prayer. Just then, her head spun completely around, leaving the holy men in awe. Fearing that maybe evil has the upper hand, both priests shout together, The power of Christ hustles you! The power of Christ hustles you! Reagan rises off the bed and into the air above as Merrin splashes her legs with holy water, creating boo-boos and ouchies. Leaving Father Merrin alone, Damien takes a little break. Chris asks him if Reagan is going to die, and he assures her that she won't, and he returns to the bedroom to find Merrin slumped over onto the bed. He moves Father Merrin a little, sending him to the floor. The holy water spills out beside his cold, dead body. Father Karras gets so mad, he grabs hold of Regan and wrestles her to the carpet. He holds her down and screams at her,
"Come into me! Come into me!"
Damien's eyes go funny, and he jumps up and bolts through Regan's window, down onto the steps below. It seems the demon took Father Karras up on his offer and went inside him, so he decided to end both of their lives in a brave and noble act. With the nasty badness and demon possession behind her, Regan now hopes to return to a normal, happy life. But will she?